Hello and welcome to the Natural Way of Life, and we're in the month of August, and I'm bringing to you a check-in for all of you Life Path 6s and Life Path 33 6s as well, because this is a universal 6-month we're in. If you're listening to this a little bit later, we've just been in August 2023. So that means there is a focus on that 6 energy, and if you have that as your life path number, that is your soul's purpose, your life purpose, what you're here to do, so you will feel that energy more intensely. If you also have that in numerology in your name or any of your other core numbers, destiny number, soul urge number, personality number, you may also have felt these energies testing you, challenging you, and helping you to grow. So with all my videos, I'm specifically talking about these numbers as I can relate to them personally. I'm living it, breathing it, and walking it, okay? So, and I like to share and I like to help, and part of having that 33 and that 6 energy is we are here to heal and help others and help humanity. So if me sharing can help and others on their healing journey, then, you know, I'm doing my work, so to speak. But I also find it, because I sit on YouTube and look through other people's videos, and I've come across ones that can be really helpful to me, and sometimes it's just nice to know you're not the only one going through everything. So again, if you can relate to these videos, or they've helped you, or you want to share anything, please do in the comments, because that's a really nice way to connect with others who are also on this similar path to yourself. So some of the themes for this month would have been around, because 6 is that number of love, family, marriage, the home, nurturing, responsibility, your community, emotions, your third eye, your 6th sense, your mental health. So there is a lot this month. So for me personally, it has been super challenging, okay? Now, I just want to make it clear as well that if you have felt a challenging energy, as I'm going to call it, or some of you might have felt like the energy's really aligned for you and everything's working out great, that doesn't mean you're like in the good or the not so good energy of that number. All it means is we're all here at different stages on our journey, and we're all here learning different lessons. So sometimes we have to go through, as I call them, these challenges and areas for growth to help us ascend along our journeys. And especially by having a master number, or some people call them the double numbers, so the 33 element of the life path, it basically means your soul has kind of signed up for more challenges, okay? Because you can, you know, go twice as far, but you can also crash twice as low. Like, the challenges are there. So it's like with any number, you have the more positive side, which is what I call like a higher vibration, then you have the lower vibration of the number. With the double number, it just means it's supercharged, more intense energy, to kind of put it simply, and that can be super strong, intense emotions, super intense highs and lows. So for myself personally, how this energy related to me this month. So I definitely felt the beginning of the month was a lot easier to get through. I took some spiritual trips, got a lovely new deck of cards, had some beautiful spiritual artwork done. Yeah, that trip I really felt empowered, and there was some movement for me, which was good. On the flip side, I also have been going through a relationship breakup, which has been really traumatic, really sad. Responsibility issues, and I feel like as a 6, again, 6s, do you guys relate to this? I feel like I've always had responsibility, pretty much, I'm going to say, from a young child. I've always been the eldest sibling. I've then had to always be the responsible one. Kind of even with my parents, I felt like I've been their parent, or, you know, told them what to do or how to manage things or deal with things. Then I found I had to move out at a very young age, around 17 or 18, had to fend for myself, live on my own, pay all my bills, you know, and people of that kind of age, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, a lot of people still live at home or with their family or have more of a support network. You know, they can go out, spend more money, go on holidays. Unfortunately, I didn't have that. I always had that responsibility of having to pay my rent, having to pay my bills. And that took its toll because I don't ever feel like I got to relax or enjoy or feel safe. I was always living in fear and worry and having to provide. And when I look back, I feel like that was also quite traumatic, having to do that from such a young age. Obviously, it helped me grow and be stronger, but they're the themes I feel for responsibility. They've always been there for me. So you may also relate with that, but I've always wanted, in my eyes, like the perfect family or the perfect relationship. And I think as a 6, with that 6 energy, we have to, it's sometimes realizing that maybe actually the moment we're in, the present moment is actually just perfect and as things should be for wherever we are in life. And there is a good book actually, the Dan Millman book, which talks about some of those lessons of those perfectionist elements we have and how to work on those, although I haven't mastered that yet, because especially this month I felt like my ideals of how I view things in the world or how I would want things in my own life to be have literally come crashing down and smacked me in my third eye to wake me up. And it's like my visions of how a family should look like, or you know, the dreams of a relationship, the perfect relationship I want, it's all kind of just shook me up and woke me up and been like, actually, we're not giving you that, sorry. Or your visions or views of that are going to have to change. So I definitely have felt a lot of inner turmoil. I've felt a lot like in my mind has literally just been on overdrive, thinking non-stop. And when people say, oh, just take a break, chill out, oh, just chill. Even when I've tried to meditate a lot of the time, it's like I can't describe it to people. It's your mind is constantly on the go, visioning every situation, every positive or negative, and then you just get swamped and taken over by your mind, and it is so hard to get out of that. And I wish it was as simple as people say, oh, just snap out of it, or oh, do something else, think of something else. I'm like, if it was that easy to just switch the light bulb on or off, you know, I would do it. And that's where I do get kind of sometimes triggered or upset easily, because people don't understand me, or they don't understand mental health or challenges. And I always say that to someone, you can never judge until you've walked in that person's shoes. So there's some of the difficult elements I feel like. So I feel like all my challenges this month have kind of been going against, like, I'd say in the lower vibration of that energy in a sense. So like, for instance, the love aspect, okay, well that's broken down in a breakup. But it was a toxic situation, and it was getting abusive, emotionally manipulative and abusive. So that wasn't healthy for me. So I had to take that courage and strength. And I think actually it was teaching me to take responsibility for myself and to set better and stronger boundaries for myself. But again, that's just a lesson, isn't it, that I have to learn. So I won't do that again, or I won't enable certain things again. And again, there has been some family dramas, I would say, not that I've directly been involved with, but that I'm aware of in my family. And I think it's important to note as well, many of you may find this on your path, especially with the 33s, that there were definitely probably issues in your childhood or growing up, or with your caregivers, and maybe parents that were abusive or emotionally unsupportive. 100% I can relate with. And over the years I've just had to come to terms with that. If they're toxic, it doesn't matter just because they're your family. You don't have to entertain that. You don't have to allow it into your life. You know, just like if you didn't like someone at work, well, or you didn't like someone else in one of your friend groups, you know, you're not gonna just put up with them for the sake of it, are you? You know, or the same way if you were eating something and it doesn't agree with you, you're gonna stop eating it then. So it's the same with them. I think we have to not feel bad because society puts this mold on us, like, oh yes, your family, oh you should still talk to them or be around them. No, I don't believe in that, because that can be more harmful than good. You know, if people aren't good for your highest good, then it doesn't make sense to keep them around. You shouldn't have to give your energy, because your energy is your most precious thing. And with that double 3 energy as well, I'm going to say this, your energy field is very high vibrational, and you probably attract a lot of people that are like energy vampires or like to take from your energy, and they may not know they're actually doing it, you know, on a conscious level, but you can feel very drained from people. So it's really important to protect your energy protection. I've done videos on this as well, but that's kind of a separate subject I think I'll get into. Now, the sixth energy can also hold like addictive tendencies. So for some of you, you may feel as well, like depending on if you're on what side of that vibration you're on, maybe addictive tendencies were a challenge this month. You know, whether that be like food, your phone, drink, drugs, whatever it may be, addictive tendencies can definitely pop up. I think some of mine is sometimes it's an escape mechanism what I do, because the last couple of years I cut out alcohol because that was really causing me so many problems. But yeah, so sometimes my thing will be I might overeat, or I can end up binge watching a lot. So I might get myself stuck into a series just to distract myself from my own life, you know? I'm not saying they're great coping mechanisms, but just to show you openly and honestly, from the heart, like we all have our things. I probably haven't stepped into my artistic and creative energies as much this month. I have been wanting to, because that double 3 energy is double creative expression, personal power. But again, saying that I think I have used my personal power by stepping away from a negative situation. So in the long run, that will serve my highest good. But we've also had 2 full moons this month. We have one at the beginning of August, and we're just about on the 30th or the 31st, depending where you are in the world. We're just about to have another full moon. So that is like epic energies. It's super intense emotional energies this month. So it is no surprise if you've not been the only one feeling like you're actually losing your mind. And I feel like I flip off in between very like, oh, okay, I'm in control, like, yes, and I visualize all the time this life I want, but then I'm sometimes stuck in my body not doing anything to get there. And then I can come crashing down to, this is too much, I can't deal with it, this isn't the life I wanted, I don't want to be here, I don't feel like I can continue because life is too depressing for me, like I'm feeling everything, you know, and it's too much. So I'm happy to admit that is like my highs and my lows, how I feel. Although they may not get very high, but you know what I mean? That's how low you can come crashing down, is to your lowest points. But then there has been this hope within my heart that's kind of kept me going, I can't lie. So I don't know how this has felt for you, but that's my version of how this month has felt super intense for me. On the contrary, like last year in my universal 6 month, like my relationship was getting more serious, and I still felt like the mental challenges 100%, but my relationship was progressing and getting more serious at that point. So it was like a deepening of that kind of connection. So I can see how it depends on where you are on your path, how you feel those energies and what's going on in your life. But that's the beauty. Everything, it's like the waves, isn't it? The sun, the moon, what goes up must come down. Everything naturally in life kind of changes a bit, you know? So yeah, I want to hear from some other 6s and 33s, like how has this month been for you? Because it has been super, super, super intense for me. And that's just a brief summary and overview of what the month's done for me. Now, I am just going to pull us from the Crystal Magic Tarot, like a message for us going forward, all of us 6 and 33s, what we need to be aware of. And yeah, what's going to help us? What message do we most need at the moment? Now, this beautiful card has come out. I'm going to hold it here, but it's slightly dark coloured, so I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's number 7. Oh, and we're just going into a 7-month next month, September. And this is the Chariot. Oh, I love the art on this one. It's like a camel, and it's carrying like something that looks pretty precious. Okay, I'm seeing that it's symbolizing a new direction for sure, because the camel is going in a new direction. Let me just pop that card up there for you guys while I tune into that. There we go. I'm moving to a new place in the world. So this Chariot, it's the card. It's of purpose, progress, and movement. So we are going to have some movement. And it urges you to be the doer, not the one who is done to. That is a bit of a 6 thing I've heard as well. Like, yeah. And it's an invitation to enter the battlefield of life and carve out your own niche. Action is needed. So sometimes when we get stuck in a rut, it's very easy to just make our world so small that we feel that will be easier than have to make our world bigger, because can we deal with everything that then comes with that? But this card basically can show up when we have an issue or an opportunity regarding location, transportation, or travel. So themes such as vehicles, journeys, and holidays, and extended travel, house or location, and move are all in play. So if you're listening to this message, I always say take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but keep an open mind, because even if it may not be directly for you, it could be someone very close to you in your energy field, in your circle in life, okay? So this is signifying move, relocation, travel, a vehicle, a journey, a holiday. And it's also your attitude or approach. This card is telling you to take purposeful action. Your life won't happen by itself, and you are the architect of it, so build your life. It's so true. You can have readings done, you can read all the information, swat up on all these numbers and everything like that, but at the end of the day, your life is what you make it. And I always say to that to people when I do readings, I can pick up on what's in your energy field now, okay, or maybe what's to come, but you have that destiny, you have that choice. You have the choice when you walk out of your door. Do you go left or do you go right? You know what I mean? Do you jump on a plane tomorrow, or do you jump on the bus tomorrow, or do you stay in bed? It's always down to you. And on the shadow side though, the Chariot can represent single-minded selfish behaviour. So try to avoid being overly focused on getting ahead rather than enjoying the ride or helping others along the way. So again, to keep us rooted and grounded and remind us that our purpose is here on earth to help and heal others in a way, and to be okay in the present moment, because it's so easy to keep thinking about the future, the past, but let's just get okay with being in that present moment, and where we're at is perfectly where we're meant to be. So Chariot is also associated with Cancer, which is late June through to July, and therefore the moon, so potentially any major moon phases, new or full moon, are important and also linked to Mondays. The Cancer link also means it's associated with water. Water, of course, is an emotional time. If there's a person that's coming to your mind, or maybe at a significant point in your life with this message, they could be a Cancerian who is either a supporter of your ambitions or plans, or is on the move in a significant way themselves. So remember what I said, sometimes it can relate to that person around you. But the message with this is, to keep moving forwards, and you are creating, as it shows there, your destiny. So I wanted to share that one with you, because we needed something a little positive. So there is change and there is movement that is coming. So that is, I don't know, that's exciting. And 7 energy. I'm going to do a video for next month as well for Life Path 7s, because we're in a universal 7 year as well, which is our crown chakra healing. So I think it's going to be a really interesting time. But my advice for 6s and 33s is just really try and keep grounded, keep a strong spiritual practice, and have faith in a higher power, because you are very naturally connected to source and to spirit. And when you can attune to that, that will be your blessing and your help through life, because we can't always rely on people in the physical realm. So sometimes we need to have more of a connection to the spiritual realm. And fresh air, nature, fresh water, eating good, eating the right stuff to charge us up so we have more life force energy within us. And more than anything, I think I'm just going to send a lot of love out to everyone at this time, because love is 6 energy and we all need more of it in our lives. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Lots of love.